Welcome to the Fleet Geeks podcast. We're here to help develop fleet and transport professionals. Do you want to progress and develop your skills and knowledge? We promise to bring lively conversation and debate around interesting issues and keep you bang up to date with changes in our awesome industry. The Fleet Geeks are a community of professionals, and if you enjoy the podcast, why not join the discussion for free in the Fleet Geek community over on Facebook?
Hello and welcome to today's Fleet Geeks podcast. I'm really pleased that you can join me today, and I am wanting to talk about a great piece of advice that I've had, and I think it probably came from my dad. So my dad is a policeman, never owned a business, never worked as a transport manager, never worked as a fleet manager, but used to give me universal bits of advice like manners maketh the man, and make sure you eat everything on your plate, and crime doesn't pay, and all those sorts of things. But there was one bit of wisdom he shared with me that I think is quite relevant when it comes to running your fleet or transport operations. And that is the old saying, if you're going to do something, do it properly or don't do it at all. There's loads of wisdom in that. So if we break it down, for example, if you're going to do something, we need to make sure that we make a choice and that we take responsibility for that choice and that we clearly make a clear decision around what that choice is. Okay? So if we're going to do something, we need to make sure that we've clearly made a decision about the something that it is that we're going to do. Okay? Now, the next part is around doing it properly. And that's about making sure we set standards, that we make sure we deliver excellence, and make sure that we give it our full commitment and all our energy. Okay? That's about doing it properly. So we're going to make a choice, which is doing something, making a choice, taking responsibility, making a clear decision about what we're going to do, and then we make sure that we do the thing properly. And the final part is about not doing it at all. Because if you don't do it at all, then there's focus, resource allocation, and making sure that we eliminate the things that we can't do properly. So it's really, really important that we focus on, if we're going to do something, we do it properly or we don't do it at all. Because if we don't do it properly, we could end up in front of the traffic commissioner or getting into trouble with the DVSA. Our drivers can have some issues. So we need to make sure we do something, and we need to make sure that we do it properly. Okay. And those things that we don't do at all, well, we have a choice. They have to be the stuff that doesn't really matter when it comes to compliance, but we need to do stuff and we need to do it properly. So if we apply that to our operations or operationally in our fleet and transport department, we need to make sure that we follow these three sort of rules that I set out around making sure we do something or do it properly or don't do it at all. We need to make sure we choose our battles.
Hello, it's Shani from Flagship Partners. We are really proud to sponsor the Fleet Geeks podcast. If you need expert advice or training for your fleet business, make Flagship Partners your first choice. We are really excited to announce the launch of our Transport Manager Academy. With expert development for fleet leaders, we offer fully accredited initial Transport Manager CPC training, CPC refresher, and operator license awareness training, as well as mentoring, support, and professional development beyond the qualification. Our vision is to develop elite fleet professionals.
Some things don't deserve your attention as fleet and transport managers. Some opportunities can be passed on, and some things aren't worth doing. Okay? There is some stuff that isn't worth doing, and some things that you don't need to do. Yeah? The latest initiative or the latest fad, we need to make sure that we get the foundations right of compliance. So we need to make sure we choose our battles, and particularly when we're going to pick up challenges with team members and different things, we need to make sure we choose the right battles to focus on. And then we need to set really, really high standards, because if it's worth doing, we need to do it exceptionally well. There's no half measures, no cutting corners, and no saying that's good enough. Okay, so we need to make sure that we do those things well. So for example, as a fleet or transport manager, if you get an audit, that tells you the things that you need to be doing. So you're going to do something, and then what you need to do is make sure that you do it properly, do the things in the audit properly. And then we need to eliminate the middle ground. The space between all in and not at all is where non-compliance happens. So we need to make sure we pick and commit to it. Okay, so we need to make sure we choose our battles. We need to set ultimately very high standards, and we need to ensure that we really do focus on doing the role effectively. And when I look at some of the transport operations and transport and fleet managers that we work with, the best ones are the ones who are fully committed to making sure that all of the areas are covered, and that if they do something, they make sure they do it properly. They make sure it gets rolled out. So a good example of this, not in practice, that I see all the time is, if you're going to do something, okay, we're going to create a driver's handbook. Okay, so we create a driver's handbook. Are we going to do it properly? Well, to do it properly, what do we need to do? We need to make sure that the drivers have access to the handbook. They need to have signed the policies. They need to have taken time to read and fully digest and understand them. We need to have taken time to train them out. How many companies produce a handbook, but they don't actually get the drivers to really understand the contents of it? They don't deliver the toolbox talks. They don't deliver, they don't deliver the learning behind the handbook. They just go, here's a handbook, sign for it. That's a perfect example of, if you're going to do something, you need to do it properly. Okay, so as fleet and transport managers, we need to think about the things we're choosing to do and the things we're choosing not to do, and making sure those things that we are doing, we're doing properly. Because if we're going to do something, we need to do it properly or not do it at all. So how does that apply to you in your fleet and transport business? I'll be delighted to hear about it. And maybe in future episodes, I'm going to do some more fatherly wisdom and break that down into how that applies to fleet and transport management and that sort of work. I hope you're enjoying the podcast. And if you've got any questions at all, please do give me a shout. And I'll see you again on a future episode. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please share with your friends and colleagues too. Join us for free on Facebook with the Fleet Geeks community for transport and fleet managers. Fleet Geeks offers ongoing professional development, networking and mentoring too. So get in touch with me, Pete Rushmer, on any social media platform to find out more.